Hello YouTube, this is Daniel here from Nostalgia Overload, back here with another video. In this video we're going to be talking about Crash Bandicoot the N.Sane Trilogy. With Crash Bandicoot 4 coming out in a couple of weeks, I thought this was a good opportunity to take a look back at the remastered trilogy, and just appreciate a bit for what it was. So I started playing Crash Bandicoot back in the day on the PS1. My first Crash Bandicoot was Crash Bandicoot 2. It's just overall I think it was probably one of the most enjoyable games of my childhood. I think the challenging aspect of it, platforming, was my second platformer after Sonic the Hedgehog, and just the art style, the characters, the animations. It's just such an enjoyable game to play through. Later on I also played Rough Cortex, and also went back and played Crash Bandicoot 1, and did play Mind of a Mutant for a bit as well. Crash Bandicoot 1 was a great game, and you could definitely see how revolutionary it was at that time. Crash Bandicoot Rough Cortex I found a bit harder, not as fun as the other previous two I played. And Mind of a Mutant was a bit different. It wasn't great. It wasn't a great game. I think they need to go back to the core of what they're doing at that stage. So that's what they're doing really with Crash Bandicoot 4. They've taken the first three games and said that's where it stopped, and everything else doesn't really matter after that point, and we're going to carry on from there. And the game does look great. So going back to Crash N.Sane Trilogy, we've got Crash Bandicoot 1, Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot 3. So I've played this game now over the last 2 years or so since it's been out. I've probably put in I would say about 20 hours here and there. I've almost completed Crash Bandicoot 2, and I'm stuck on the jetpack levels. So if you have any advice on those levels, that would be absolutely great. I just cannot seem to get the controls right, and it just seems to be such a pain to be able to complete those levels. Crash Bandicoot 1 and Crash Bandicoot 3, I haven't put that much time into them, but I've sort of got about halfway through to the game, so I've got a good idea. And I think in general this is a great remaster. The game just looks beautiful. The controls are still very similar to the old games, and it just plays really well. It still has that Crash Bandicoot feel, and the game just looks brilliant. Like Crash, the detail on the characters, on all the textures on the background. Yeah, it's just really, really well done remaster. And I think the first thing I realised when I picked up this game and started playing it again is just how hard and challenging the platformer can be, especially in the remastered version, as the controls seem to be a bit delayed with the actions on the screen. Sometimes you'll miss things and you feel like it wasn't your fault. It was a delay between the controller and actually Crash making a movement, which can be annoying sometimes, but it still retains that feel of a challenging platform that you just want to try again. Just keep loading up that level, just getting more lives, and just keep on trying and sort of grinding out those levels. The time trial aspects are also great across all games. I've been trying that out, and it adds a whole another level of enjoyment really to the game. Also, as part of remastering, they have sort of modernized these games a bit as well. So we've had additional checkpoints, pause menus, and save systems in all games, and both manual and automatic saving, which was only available in Crash 3 Warped, which makes going through the first two games so much easier, just having those save points, and also seeing your progress, which is also really important. Just making sure you've got all the gems and that which ones you need to go back for. It makes the game much more modern. I wouldn't say easier, but it definitely makes the game. It just gives you more information about your playthrough, which makes the experience better. Another thing which I think makes this remaster so great is just that aspect of retaining that Crash Bandicoot feel with those levels, such as the the ones where you're trying to escape from the big falling rock, or where you're riding the bear, or playing as Coco in Crash 3 Warped, and riding the tiger. It's just such fun and aspect of the game, which has been retained in absolute beauty. Also, there are a few additional levels in this game, which I didn't really notice because I haven't played through the entirety of all 3 games. But there is an additional level on Crash Bandicoot 1 and Crash Bandicoot 3 as well, which were left out of the original releases. So it's great we get to go back and try out those levels which didn't make it into the full game. So taking everything into account, I would actually give Crash Bandicoot the N.Sane Trilogy pretty much even a 9.5 out of 10, 0.5 maybe for the slight delay in the controls, but just the overall work they've done with the remaster, making it just straight into the modern age, and just give Crash Bandicoot that whole modern feel, but still retain the enjoyability of the challenging platformer from the original games. I think they've just done a fantastic job. And looking ahead to Crash Bandicoot 4, I've seen the trailers, I've seen the gameplay trailers, and I could not be more excited to pick up Crash Bandicoot 4 and play a new Crash Bandicoot game with some new mechanics, some new levels as well. I just can't wait to see what they've got in store for us. So that's the end of the video, guys. I just wanted to get on here and ramble about Crash Bandicoot the N.Sane Trilogy for a bit. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please like the video, please comment, and please subscribe.